Yeah. Something like this. Yeah, wow. Wow, that's pretty good. Yeah, let's do that. Uh-huh. Let's bring that down so I can actually read chat. Yeah, yeah, just like that. That's looking good. Yeah, yeah, of course it is. Lie to yourself, Hyde. Lie to yourself. This does not look like a garbage setup at all. No. Gotta post those links, Hyde. Gotta post those links. Yep, there you go. Old man. Too late. Look, I'm not even supposed to be, like, streaming until 2. Come on, give me a break here. Copy a link. Yes, yes, hi Sen, hi Rura. Hi to anyone else who might be out there. We'll begin shortly, yeah? Oh, Rura is too late, huh? If you say so. Honestly, all of you got here before I even clicked start, didn't you? Yeah, I smell them too. They got that real noticeable odor. Do, 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 do. Zatsu. Bum 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 bum. You know, I do apologize. This one's gonna be a bit scuffed, like more scuffed than usual. Captchas, really? What did I do to deserve this? Feeling real low energy, you know? Hey, Manasong, nice to see you. Okay, let me get this all set up. That way I can actually read chat if I need to. Yeah, this is gonna be... Oh, I did the same thing I did last week, didn't I? How do I actually get rid of this without closing everything? Like that. Yeah, like that. G'day, mates. It's me, Hyde. It's been a while, hasn't it? Almost a full week. I've been out in the bush. No, probably not. It's good to see you all. Thank you all for coming again to another Minesweeper Zatsudan stream. I do not have a juice box today. Today is a winning day. I hope so. Again, I'm still feeling a bit sick, but most of that's over. Most of it. No juice box. I have a bottle of water today. And the neat thing is... Can you hear that? I'm pretty sure that's cheap aluminum. Yes, recyclable. Are you wearing a No, it's not a Halloween costume. I just felt like wearing something today. Only one hat. A shame. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. We can fix this. Let me see, Is there a duplicate feature? Copy? Paste duplicate. Bloop. Paste duplicate. Bloop. I felt like the top here was kind of, empty, so I wanted to wear a hat and kind of fill up that space. And then I ended up putting a mustache on myself. Because, you know, I had that around as well. Yeah. Women fear me. Fish something something. You know how it goes, right? I don't know how that goes. Like, I'm an avid fisherman, but I have no idea how that hat looks. I just know it's ridiculous. Let me lock these all in place. There you go. Is that better for you? Sen, look at what you made him do. Now it's yeah, it's tastefully stacked. I just need to paint it lime green, right? Lime green or Australian gold. Yeah, Hat King is here, kneel to the hats. I thought I was the Short King. Shorts King, maybe? I don't know. You know those cone toys for toddlers that you stack with different colors? Yeah, the stacking blocks. You know, I used to have a lot of those stacking blocks as a kid. Probably one of the few toys I liked playing with. Okay, now we're gonna actually get started here. Do you want the hats left on, or do you think it's too much? Or do you think I need another mustache? Like, I could do more mustaches, that'd be pretty fun. Copy. Paste. Duplicate. I'll just give myself some eyebrow mustaches. That seems fun, right? Copy. Hold on a second. Paste. Duplicate. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I like this. This is good. Why is that not locked? Okay, there we go. Okay, you think that's too much, or is that good? I think that's probably fine. Today we're gonna actually win a game, I think. We're gonna try. We're gonna try and win one of these games of Minesweeper. And we're gonna have some topics here from last week, which is nice, right? I did add a few new ones, but mostly they're just the same ones I didn't get to last week. He's so fancy. Thank you, Conqueror. I do try. So, we're gonna start out with, how I usually start. New sweeper strat. Yeah, go for the corner. And it worked out pretty well, right? Yeah, it's not working well. Not at all. I didn't like that run, so I just refreshed it. I think I'm gonna do that again, because you got the 5. Haha, F. No. So, again, this is going to be a low energy Zatsu. I'm still recovering. Please forgive me. Like, I might do some accents, but that's about the extent of it. Yeah. And my voice is probably still a bit raspy. Like, it's the weirdest thing, right? I got better for a day, and I recorded some content, thankfully, on that day. And then I got worse again. And then I got better. And now I'm worse again. And then I got better. But it's still not ideal, right? Like, I have the whole script for my new BFE video penned out. At least the first... well, I wouldn't call it the first draft. It's finished, right? It's done. I've done what I wanted with it. But I can't record it. No, I can't record it at all. Did I say hi to Conqueror? Yeah, I think it did. It's an oscillating signal? What's oscillating? My eyebrows? I don't think so. Oh, my sickness. Yeah. It's just one of those things, I think. You know? Sometimes, sicknesses linger, and if you stress yourself, or if you're not sleeping or eating properly, please do that, by the way. Please eat and drink and, hydrate and, you know, stay away from the dangerous fluids. You know the ones I'm talking about, right? Yeah. We all know. We know what you did. I know what you did. But yeah, I'm getting better slowly, but there is that kind of returning sickness that just lingers, and that's less than ideal for recording in general. Like, I know a few people have probably been wondering what I've been doing with my channel, right? Like, there's crusty live-action footage, and there are a bunch of clips from content that you've never seen before, because I cut it all. Like, months-old content. I just couldn't record for a couple days, you know? And by a couple days, I mean pretty much a couple weeks. And, we're finally getting to new recordings. I still have a few that I have to edit. That's always the big thing, right? Like, finding time to edit things, or... like, one of them, I have to find the right sound effects for. It's gonna be another BFE short, right? And that's probably not everyone's cup of tea. But when I do BFE shorts, I hope you realize they're going to be humorous. The shorts themselves are not serious BFE. There's always going to be at least one twist, right? You tell us to take care of ourselves, so you take care... Yeah, I'm a hypocrite for not taking my own advice. I probably should sleep a bit more. I should probably work a bit less. But you know, sometimes life doesn't really let you do that, so... eh. Oh, I almost clicked that bomb there. Nope, nope, nope. Wrong mouse button. You've been having fun, that's what you're doing with your channel. Yeah, I really enjoy what I've been doing with my channel. And when I was sick, I really missed recording. That's the strangest thing, right? Like, I really wanted to put out content. You ever feel like that? Like, I know most of you are streamers. We got Sen here. But, yeah. No. I know most of you are making your own content. And I think you're all having fun as well. Or else you wouldn't be, continuing, right? You'd be done by now. You'd be gonzo. And the fact that you're still at it means you're all having fun too. And that makes me happy. Seeing other people happy. Oh, Iria's here. Iria. Yes, more Minesweeper. Yes, it is. We're not doing anything but Minesweeper from now on. I am changing my channel to an exclusively Minesweeper Zatsu channel, yeah? Yeah, I think that's what we're gonna do. I want to stream so much I'm getting distracted from writing. I hear you on that one. Like, streaming and content production is such a time sink, isn't it? I'm gonna be honest here, I thought it would be a lot easier when I started. I was like, oh yeah, I can do this, I can handle it. I could not handle it. Like, I started trying to stream for a couple days a week. I couldn't do that on top of videos. Like, I don't know if anyone knows this, but I've been putting out a video a day for what, 3 months now, almost? I think I've missed 2 days. And some of them are lazy videos like shorts that are just clips from an older video. But, you know, I'm still trying to put something out every single day to give people something to watch. And that's part of the reason why I still like using YouTube, because I am making videos for people to watch at their leisure, you know? I'm going my part, boss, I guess. Well, you know, Sen, you being here, you don't have to be a streamer, you can just enjoy it. Like, as long as you're happy, I'm happy, you know? Like, I see your happiness and I vicariously get happy. That's one of the nicest things about streaming, I think. And I didn't realize it would happen like that. I really didn't. I didn't expect it. So it's really nice. I think this is a positive change. Do you mean the hats or the mustaches? Cause, I always have the mustache. Like, I have one in real life, too. I just cavil it out, you know, CGI in post. Or I guess I have a green screen in live. And you know, the weird thing is, this mustache of mine, like, here, there's a listen. I know you don't like this area. I know you really don't like the facial hair. I'm sorry, I have it. And the worst part is I haven't really been trimming it. So now my mustache is down below my bottom lip. Like, it's been a full week of me being sick, and I just didn't care. I'm gonna have to trim that because it's really getting annoying. But on the bright side, I think it acts like a pop filter now, with the mustache being down under, you know, my bottom lip. That's great, isn't it? Yeah. Come on, Minesweeper man, sweep for me. Am I like the piano man now? I guess I could be. Sing us a song, you're the piano man? Oh man, that reminds me, did I ever tell you guys the, story of when I was... You know what, I can't tell that story, that'd be a dox. But let me give you the gist of it, okay? So I used to drive my friends around in high school a lot, right? And when you're the driver, you get to pick the tunes. That's the agreed upon rule, right? That's not just me, that's everyone. If you're driving, you're picking the music. Because it's your car. Or at least you're the one taking the effort. What's that? Conqueros men are just not born to sweep when everyone is a VTuber, no one is? Yeah, okay. Okay, be a villain, Conquero. Be a villain. When everyone is special, no one is. Angry face area? I am so sorry about the mustache area. Iria? Iria. I can't do the, LR thing. I'm sorry. Like, Hyde's tone deaf to begin with. I don't know if you guys know that, but I am very... Oh, that was a good run. I am very much tone deaf. If you saw the Katsu video, the indie game that was black and white, set in an all-female high school, you know, the one I got in a lot of hot water for, because of that one short. If you saw that one, you know I'm tone deaf. You saw how long I messed around with that piano when the jingle was playing right in my ear the whole time. I fast-forwarded it for you. Man, my brain's fried today. Common NG man, build a sentry. Yeah, gotta build a sentry here. I can't see anything through those hearts. Need a sentry here. Yeah, I didn't usually main engineer in TF2, that's the weird thing. Like, that came later. When I first started, I was a sniper main. Americans really... yeah, Americans do love really pronouncing their R's. Let's not go there. Yeah. But phonemes are pretty interesting things. There are only so many ways that you can move your tongue around in your mouth to make sounds, right? Ooh, that was very lucky. So, you're always going to have some kind of overlap, but at the same time, it's very interesting to see how different cultures play around with that little extra wiggle room. You know, the tongue wiggle room. So you get like the Spanish V and B kind of thing going on. And you get those R's in German where you get the rhotic stop. Not the erotic stop, the rhotic stop. We talked about that last time. Or at least 2 times ago. You know what? They're all Zatsu streams, so we talked about it at some point. I played Scout in TF2 because I'm riddled with ADHD. Yeah, I could never really get into Scout. You need a lot of fast twitch tracking, you know? And I really didn't start out on TF2 until I was a lot older. Like, I don't know. Probably got into it college. Yeah. So, I can't tell you when exactly, but college age. Freshman year or so. That's about when I started playing TF2. Very late in the game's development. Like after 10 years of development, it was worth the wait. And I played it all throughout college when I needed a stress relief. I couldn't do Scout though. In fact, I really hated Scouts. As a sniper main, Scouts gave me more trouble than most spies did. I was usually a Razorback sniper. So unless you had a really good spy who was great with headshots, ambassador kind of thing, or you know, he had the crits from like, what was the other one? Diamondback, Enforcer, something. Then usually you could do fine. Water. Not as good as juice. TF2 needed a ranked mode 10 years ago. I got burnt out on pointless lobbies. I was a scout main too. Well, we got a lot of scouts in chat. I did like it that it became a game about hats with a shooter attached to it. Yeah, force of nature, my beloved. Yeah, okay. That's the thing I hate. Like, the force of nature is the #1 most hated weapon that I have to play against. There's nothing you can do, you just get popped, you don't know where you are. You're disoriented more than usual. You know, I'm already an old man. I really can't readjust myself that quickly anymore. So, I had to switch. But yeah, I don't know. I really didn't like the competitive matchmaking update, because I really enjoyed those lobbies. I had a lot of friends in those lobbies. No, that's not right. That can't be right. Yeah. You know, I would just play the same lobbies every day at the same times, and I'd see the same names. And that was kind of fun, right? You would have these friends who weren't on your friend list. There were no expectations to queue up or anything. You just met them if you saw them. And you'd play against them, and you'd learn their play styles, and they'd learn yours, and it was a lot of fun. So that's my biggest gripe about the competitive matchmaking scene update. you don't get to do that anymore. And it's really a shame, because I used to only play Doomsday servers. Like, the same Doomsday servers. And, there's a very specific crowd for Doomsday players. They never cap, right? Or if you do get someone trying to, you know, launch the rocket, it's always prevented. Even the team that's trying to launch the rocket doesn't want to launch the rocket. It's a lot like 2-Fort, and 2-Fort's the bigger one for that. You do not cap on 2-Fort unless you have to end the game. Yeah. And that's pretty much where I've ended up now as an engineer main. 2-Fort. Endless 2-Fort. Turtle Fortress, yeah? Spy main. Mana Song was a spy main. You know, the thing about spy mains is it's a lot tougher than it looks. At least to me, I could never get it right. There were some amazing spy players back on those, Doomsday servers, right? And usually, you either had two kinds of spies. You had the fresh noobs who were spy crabbing, or, you know, the ones trying to be sneaky that you could just instantly tell are there. You can feel them on your skin. That was the kind of spy I used to play as. Oh, sorry. Voice crack. And, then you had the really good spies, who just wouldn't cloak at all, right? They would just be there, out in the middle of everything, just shooting you with a pistol from half the map away. Those were the ones you had to watch out for. Not the sneaky ones who were hiding, but the ones who were fully in the open. Because that means they're good enough to snipe you from across the map with an ambassador. Yeah? Ooh, those were the ones I didn't like seeing. And of course, you're seeing them. I was hiding in plain sight one. Yeah, that's the way to go. Like, that's as stupid as it sounds. Disguises were my thing. As stupid as it sounds, being out in the open, that's a sign of a better spy, right? In mind games. Yeah. Oh, man. The trolling culture in TF2 is pretty fun too, isn't it? Like, I used to do this a lot. Like, I used to do teletraps too. But, I grew out of it, okay? So forgive me. Ah, this is troublesome. But the trolling culture is just fantastic, right? If you think about it, I want you to think back to when you were a spy and there was one of your friendly pyros coming at you. Did you run at them? Or did you run away from them and make them chase you? Because when I was a friendly spy, I would make them chase me. Like, yeah, I'm not on your side. I'm a spy. I think that adds, you know, an air of credibility to your disguise if you're getting chased. So I always tried to make the pyros chase me. But again, I was a bad spy player. It was never one of my mains. I gotta... Oh, this is gonna make me sound bad, right? Like you're not a team player. But after all of these years of playing TF2, and I have played it for years... Hold on, sip of water. Hyde man, troll man, yeah. After all of these years, I still only have about 20 to 30 hours on Medic. And I'm pretty sure that's overestimating my time on Medic. It might be as low as 16. I tried, you know, I really did. I could never get the arc right on the syringes. That really made it difficult. Like, how are you supposed to play in a pub? Like, I get it, if you're competitive and you can pocket someone, you don't have to think. Well, you do have to think, but it's a lot easier if you can just pocket someone. Hyde man, troll man. Pyromanes like to eat paste. Why is that funny? I don't know. I usually... when I'm playing... How do I want to say this? When I'm playing 2-Fort, my secondary is always sniper, because I like the battlement's, you know, blood sport combat. It's always nice to keep those skills up a little bit, but when I'm not playing either of those two, and I'm not roaming as a Solly, I always play the Pybro. And I have a lot of respect for Pybros out there, because on a map like 2-Fort, you either have to have the home wrecker, or the Neon Annihilator, right? Both of those remove sappers from an engineer's machinery, right? And they have some negative side effects. I think it's on healing now, but it used to be something different. So whenever you see a Pybro out there, like, I got mad respect for them, you know? Pyro mains are psychopaths. I think you have to be pretty special to be a Pyro main. Like, you've gotta really enjoy flanking. If you don't enjoy flanking, that's not right. That's not right. If you don't enjoy flanking, you're not gonna enjoy the class. It's not a blindly run into people kind of class, although that's how it's usually played in pubs. It's very much you've gotta be smart with it, right? So, you've gotta be calculating. You've gotta be intelligent about where you place yourself. Not right. They just have one key keyboards, WM1. That's technically 2 keys, right? WM1. Mouses. Mice count as a button, right? It's not a keyboard, I guess. But Edward Chen, every class can flank. You're not wrong. Every class can flank. I think a lot of them really shouldn't, though. And, the one that probably shouldn't flank the most would be Engineer, right? Unless you have a Widowmaker. Like, you could do some weird corner strats as an Engineer, but I really don't think that one has a lot of flanking ability. Well, maybe if you have the mini out, and, yeah, maybe with a mini. No, you're right, every class can. I don't know if every class should, but I can't think of anything that couldn't. Even a sniper, if you have the Huntsman, you can corner creep. That's the only way I can get Huntsman kills, right? Corner creeping. You just walk around the corner and hope you get a kill. That's 2? Yeah, okay. Some Pyro loves to search Invis Spy and shoot at every team to check if it is a spy. Yeah, I absolutely do that. Like, when I'm playing 2-4, I absolutely shoot everyone with my Scorch Shot. Like, it's just second habit. You gotta shoot everything. If you haven't checked out any of my crusty videos on TF2, first of all, don't. Please do not torture yourself. And second of all, if you do, I think you'll see... This is not good for us. I think you'll see that when I play as Pyro, I absolutely use my Scorch Shot more than I use my main Flamethrower. And that's just because it has bigger range, right? And I honestly think the Scorch Shot is probably easier to outpace when you're at range, like mid to long range, than the Flamethrower if you're chasing someone. Yeah. That's probably self-evident though, you know? Like, I'm not saying anything smart by saying that. I do think, hold on a second, that I'm not talking about anything that's on my list again. I'm just getting sidetracked by chat. My throat's really dry and scratchy today, sorry about that. But yeah, those spies, they're tricky. I really don't like... It's not that I don't like the class, it's just I never got good with spy. I got good enough that I could predict how a spy might think, right? Like, if you're going on a corner, you gotta watch out. Or if you're going on stairs, you gotta watch out for the stair stabs. TF2 stream when? I am so sorry, Area, but that ain't happening. My computer would just die. You would not see another Hyde stream. I don't know if you realize just how potato my streaming setup is. It is very potato. Like, this is the computer, and when I say computer, I mean laptop. This is the laptop that I used to do my work on, like my business work. So it's at least a couple of years old, and it was never intended for gaming. The fact that I've gotten so far on this potato setup frankly amazes me. Like, it should not have been possible. And you can probably see it in my content. Like, frames capped at 30. I'm not even probably streaming at 180. Or 1080. Yeah. I don't know if I am or not. I think I might have it set to 1080. But, yeah, we're using about 12% of my CPU just with, what I have open. Minesweeper. Not ideal. 0 dropped frames, though. TF2 is meant to run on a potato, though? Look, I can run TF2 at its lowest possible potato settings. It's at 720p. Yeah, I thought so. I did turn it down after the, Arkham Asylum game. I don't know if any of you actually watched that. Maybe a couple of you. Where I did, that was a while ago. I just never turned it back up. I figured you'd probably want more frames. 30 frames per second. Solid. Than you would, 1080p on Minesweeper. Yeah, that probably makes sense, right? How about the old Myst games? They're basically PowerPoint slideshows. You know, it's the weirdest thing. Like, sometimes things that should be simple and easy to play, they really just don't play well. Like, sometimes the Viado whatever thing I have my PNG on, it doesn't play well with Unity games that are really simple. It just really depends on what's optimized, I think. If things aren't optimized, I don't have a chance of playing them. They'll just brick everything. It's at 720p, I already read that. Hi Hyde, what is happening to your head? I have a headache, is that what you mean? Or, hi Lila. No, oh, you mean the hats and the mustaches. Yeah, I was goofing around. I don't know, maybe I should get rid of those. I think the joke's been overplayed. Get the N64 TF2 mod and then run true potato gameplay. I don't even know what that is, but that sounds amazing. Like, I used to play a lot of GoldenEye, right? And GoldenEye was basically just TF2 that was local. Huh. That's not a sentence that makes sense, is it? No, it isn't. Okay, let me get rid of the hats that look like buckets. They've overstayed their welcome. The mustaches can go too. Remove. Yes. Remove. Yes. Is there a faster way to do this? Can I just control click? Yes, I can. Okay. Remove. Yes. There we go. We're back to, you know what? Let's get rid of that. Yeah, just hide right now. Just hide. Is that better for you? Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. Your hats look like buckets. I'm sorry about your headache. Oh no, it's fine. It has nothing to do with anything. Hyde's just a little sick today still. I got that congestion now. Like, there's nothing dripping out of my nose like a faucet. Which is great. Yeah. Because that means I'll be able to sleep well tonight. As an old man, you really learn the value of sleep, right? I think some of you can understand that. Yes, Chopin Funeral March. Yeah, I don't know what's playing. I don't... like, I don't know if you guys remember, but I don't actually listen to what's playing on my streams. I don't monitor it. And it's not because I don't like my voice. Like, I don't have any negative feelings about my voice, except when it gets all scratchy, and, when I'm sick, I can't really record because of the nasaliness. You know, the nasaliness in my voice. I don't like that. I don't like that. Especially not for BFE content. Which is what's on the docket for later, I guess. You could put Hyde into Persona 5 and no one could tell the difference. You know, it's funny, but I've never actually played a Persona game. Like, you'd think I would. They seem like the type of game that I would play. And I do enjoy, JRPGs. It's just, they're really a time sink, right? The last JRPG I played was right before I started streaming. I got up until about 90% of the way through Atelier Ryza 3. Yeah. And it has just been sitting there on my Switch for, I don't know. How many months has it been? 3, 4? But that was the last big game I played, yeah. Everything else has gone into streaming. All of my free time has gone into streaming and content production. It's fun. No, I enjoy it. I will need to go take a shower because I need to return to work. I hope you get back in time to still watch you. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for coming, Lila. Don't feel obligated if you have work to do. I know you're still sick too, or at least you're taking care of health things. And yeah, you just had your time off, right? But that's probably over now. I don't know what the time in Portugal is. Oh, I just doxed it. Sorry. Sorry. Yeah, well. One of these times, you know. She's already said where she's from. It's fine, right? It's probably fine. Yeah, don't ever feel obligated to have to watch my content. Everyone knows I'm Portuguese. Yeah, but not everyone on my channel. Everyone knows law. Yeah, it is. Okay, well, I'm glad it's fine. I really don't like, it doesn't matter, it doesn't matter. So, never feel obligated to watch my channel. Like, if you've got things to do those. You can always catch the VOD. I'm on YouTube, right? You can always catch the VOD if you want to. And you don't even have to do that. I will not be offended. T5R. Maybe you'll enjoy that. The stages and bosses are supposedly representations of people's hidden desires. Yeah, that does sound fun, actually. Hidden desires. I don't think people really hide their desires too well, but maybe I'm biased. I think most people, if you pay attention to them, yeah, they'll probably... It's not really hidden. Like, Freud had it right. Freud had the idea that every hidden desire would be brought to the surface through some unknown means. Ouch, my back. My foot's asleep. Getting old. Okay. So I'm sitting on the floor again, because that's how I stream. But yeah, Freud had it right. Like, fixations, right? So when people were sucking on their thumbs, it's because they had an oral fixation. Because they didn't get, breastfed enough or something, right? So those kind of things, they should really appear on the surface. Let's talk about your mother. Let's talk about your mother. Freud. I can't see that through the heart. Freud in the house. Yeah? Yes, Kankuro. Let's talk about your mother. How do you feel about your mother, Kankuro? Did you have a good relationship with her? I really can't do German. Like, if Momomo were here, he would probably insult me. And he's one of the nicest people, right? If he insulted me, I deserve it. I've been stalling. Like, I don't know if you can see this mess here. This one is probably a bomb, right? But we got 2 4s here. Oh, this is gonna be tough. I'm gonna click it. Yeah, it's probably a bomb, I was right. Are you here to analyze our dreams now? Well, I could, but no one's shared their dreams. Like, no one's even shared their hopes with me, right? Ah. That was such a good game. That was our chance at winning for today. The one chance at winning. Oh. I did want to say, I put a couple new songs into, the playlist for this stream. You reached so hard and fell so hard. Yeah, I did. But I'm trying to make it so the streams are not so repetitive. But there are only so many songs that I actually enjoy listening to when I'm doing my own editing. So, that's basically what it comes down to. I'm trying to find Hyde branded, free, copyright-free music. And the one I'm really liking right now is, it's on the YouTube audio library. The person who makes the songs is Joey Pecoraro. And he did that really neat Russian waltz song that I like to put in my clips. And he did, another one that I added recently. Something about November. And that was in the short that I made for today. I'm really liking his style of music. And I'm really hating this start. Yeah. Is it about time where I actually start talking about my actual list of things that I wanted to talk about? Yeah, it might be. Like, that was a fun series of tangents. I never really expect people to be tangenting or asking me things in my streams. Like, is that weird? I don't expect any of you to say anything to me. Like, I expect to stream into a void. And I don't mean that to be negative. You're allowed to lurk, right? I enjoy having lurkers. It doesn't mean you can't talk. I'm just saying, feel free to not talk if you don't feel comfortable talking, you know? Never feel obligated. Yeah, that's all Hyde really wants to say. You reached so high and you felt so hard, you love the void? Oh, yeah. Actually, we can talk about that. So the new BFE script that I wrote, it deals with nihilism a bit. It deals with the abyss and staring into it. So, yeah, I really do enjoy the void. He loves the void. You love the void. He loves the void. I love the void. Yes, we all love the void here. You know? I really do. Like, I find the abyss comforting. And that isn't edgy, and I'm not chuny. Just take me at my face value there. I find the vast emptiness of it all kind of soothing. If you think about it, it's one of the only things that connects all of humanity, right? That emptiness at the core of each of us. There's only one of them, right? It isn't like everyone has their own emptiness, or else it wouldn't be emptiness. It would be like a pocket. And that's not empty. That's not void. That's just a pocket. And pockets are full of nothing, right? And nothing's a thing. You get what I'm saying? It's not a void, unless it's at the root of all of it. And it might be. It might be at the root of all of us. It could connect all of us at our cores. I think that's beautiful. I think nihilism is a beautiful way of looking at life. If you only open your eyes and let... Well... Can you really see nothing if you open your eyes? Like, how can you be real if your eyes aren't real, right? I get it. Yeah. Memes aside, I do like the void. I do like nihilism. You know, it's funny, right? I almost minored in philosophy. Accidentally, of course. I did not want to minor in philosophy. And I'm really sorry to my professor who wanted me to minor in philosophy, but, no, I didn't. I was a few credits short, right? And that was fun, because I was mostly taking philosophy courses as filler for a liberal arts education, you know what I mean? Easy credits. But his classes weren't all that easy. Probably shouldn't have said his. That's fine. You're not gonna dox me from that little. But yeah. It was very interesting. I'm not going to tell you exactly why it was interesting, but I only took his philosophy courses, and they were all good times. Like, he wrote most of his own material. Like, he was planning on writing a book, and then teaching from that book he wrote. And one of his favorite subjects was, thanatology. That's one of the topics on my list. I'm so excited. We actually get to talk about something on my list. So, yeah, thanatology. It's the study of mortality, or the realization that we're all going to die someday. And a lot of people find that topic morbid, but I really don't. Like, if you've ever read The Death of Ivan Ilyich, you understand the importance of pondering mortality. You don't have to think about it all the time, but never thinking about it, it's probably not healthy for you, you know? Oh, we got lucky. We got lucky with the waffling. If you put off thinking about your own death until it's too late, like, what are you gonna do with your life? I think thinking about your own death gives you meaning in life, right? If you think about it, yeah, do a lot of thinking. If you think about it, you think about it, so you think about it, and I'll think about it, yeah? Yeah, okay, no? Now, if you think about it, the fact that you're going to die makes every action you take right now more meaningful, because you only have so much time to live. So far as we know. There's a scene from Akagi that describes your speech perfectly. I hope they do it better than I am, because I am not doing a great job of it. No, no, no. There's solace in knowing that nothing matters, we're all dust in the wind. Ah, yeah, the dust in the wind argument. Yeah, I really don't know. Like, existential crisis time? No, I've already had all of my existential crises. I'm not sure I exist, but other than that, you know, it's fine. But the dust in the wind argument, if we go back to that for a second, we can look at it from a very common perspective. There's this argument called the mirror argument of death, and I really don't want to get into thinking about death versus thinking about dying, because there is a difference between the event of a death and the process of death. Event versus process is a big thing in thanatology. Two completely different schools of thought, or not schools of thought, but schools of thinking? Yeah, schools of thinking about death. So let's examine the mirror argument, right? On one side we have, you're not born yet, you don't exist, you don't have feelings, you don't have anything. Then you go forward on a timeline, you're born, you live, you're alive, you have sensations, you're sapient, you're sentient. And then at the end, you go back to a state of not feeling, not knowing, not having any of that. So there is a symmetry. So the mirror argument is sometimes called the, symmetry argument of death or dying. But that's not necessarily true, is it? Like, that's not true symmetry. And one of the biggest counterpoints to that would be the idea that there's a loss from one end to the other when you go one way, but there's not a loss when you go the other way. Not necessarily. So, when you go from living to dying, you lose experiencing. Yeah? You lose sensation, you lose sapience and sentience. And there is a difference between sapience and sentience. I don't want to get into that either. Just know that you lose both of them, yeah? But when you go from not living to living, there is no loss. In fact, there is a gain. You gain sapience and sentience. Well, most people do. Some don't, Some people don't gain sapience or sentience ever. They just live as unfeeling husks. Yeah? Yeah? Unfeeling husks? Robots? Yeah, I wouldn't know anything about that. But yeah. I do not like the mirror argument. I do think that there is a loss unless we think about time as anything other than linear and moving forward. Like, time could be linear and not just moving forward. It could be stationary and linear. It could be, well, then you would defeat the purpose of being stationary or linear. You really can't have the both, right? It wouldn't be a line so much as it would just be everything in everything. I am empty on the inside, like a puppet. Me too! Let's be friends, yeah? Yeah. I think we're all kind of empty on the inside a little bit. Like, I don't want to downplay it. But again, I do think the abyss is at each of our cores. If you really stop to look at yourself, I think you'll realize it. It's right there, right inside of you, always gnawing. And that's fine too, because when it's gnawing, it gives you a lot of space to play around with, right? You get to be the master of your own subjective reality, because the void is gnawing at all of everything else, right? Yeah? Isn't that fun? That was Nietzsche's idea, right? Will to power. When there is nothing else, your will is all that matters. And I really like that. Like, I can't be an Ubermensch, And I'm probably butchering the German there. But, yeah. I can't do it. I don't have enough will. And, we're gonna take another gamble here. And we got lucky. I just don't have the will to do it all the time. Like, I work as hard as I can, especially on a hobby like this one. Because this is a hobby for me, right? It's not a career. I'm not monetizing this, not for a while yet. I think a lot of people get into this and they think, okay, well, monetizing means success. I really don't. I think monetizing can be a sign of a sign of success, but at the same time, I don't think it's necessary to say that you're successful because you got monetized. I'm happy to see it whenever anyone gets affiliate on Twitch. I really am. And I really gotta go back over there more often now. Well, maybe I can't. Eventually, I would like to get back over there on Twitch. Eventually. Is that picking up, by the way? The little whistle from my, tinny? It's not actually a tinny. It's an aluminum bottle. I'm going to have comfy sleep thinking about this. I like some existentialism. You know, I like existentialism too, but I'm really more of an experientialist. I think everything comes down to experiences, right? The subjective experience is all that really matters. And I'm not a solipsist because I think solipsists are too firm in their declarations of what exists and what doesn't. I'm really... I don't want to talk about religious agnosticism. I mean traditional agnosticism. I don't think anything can be known. I don't even think cogito ergo sum can be known. And yeah, my Latin's not great. I hope Lila's not watching to hear that. No. Because you really don't know what the thinking... Well, you don't know if anything's thinking at all. It could be the illusion of thinking. And that really only matters objectively speaking. So it really all has to come down to subjectivity. It has to be the experiences that you live. Everything else is kind of worthless. Yeah. Sad as it is, I mean, that's kind of freeing too, isn't it? What about leaving a mark on the world before... Ah, yes, legacies. Today is really hard. Even important people are forgotten. In weeks, yes. The thing about legacies... I put out a poem on my channel. It's one of my shorts, right? I wrote that poem when I was thinking about my own mark on the world, I guess. You can give it a listen. But I definitely think it isn't necessary to leave a mark on the world if you don't want to. I think everybody does leave some kind of mark on the world, even a small one. I think everything... If you study Buddhism, right? There's this concept called dependent origination, right? So everything causes everything else. Everything's tied together, essentially. Turtles all the way down. And I think it's kind of impossible not to leave any mark, because you will always be a cause to some effect, and an effect to some cause. It's just how it is. If you're alive, you are causing things. If you are alive, you were a cause. You were an effect. You were the effect of something. Love, hopefully. It'd be very nice if all of us were the effect of love, right? Hyde might not have been. Hyde might have been an accident, but that's fine. Even accidents are fine, right? It's still an effect, right? I believe in the theory that when I close my eyes to sleep, everything turns off. Yeah, okay. And it all turns on when I open again. I am the sole observer that powers this reality. I really can't disprove it. Like, I have subjective experiences that seem to indicate otherwise. But all I can really give you is my word. I could be a pea-zombie over here. And if you don't know anything about pea-zombies, that's just a term for philosophical zombies. Which are not as fun as the brain-eating kind that you see on Halloween. Sorry, just not. They're not as interesting, right? Pea-zombies are just things that don't have free will, that act like they have free will. And it's very hard to determine whether there's consciousness in other people. It's impossible, really. We just give it the benefit of the doubt most of the time, right? Except for Konkuro over there. He doesn't give any of us the benefit of the doubt, right? We're not, experiencing free agents like he is. That's fine, too. I mean, it all plays the same in the end. You still gotta subjectively navigate your subjective reality, right? You've gotta act like we are, even if you don't believe we are. If you don't, society will not like you. Trust me on that one. Yeah, society does not like people who, deviate from the norm. Just how it is. Society is built for not necessarily a norm that exists, but a norm that they would like to have, yeah? Yeah. How did we get to, it's a society again? Like, is this just what my streams dissolve? Yeah, dissolve. Yeah, they're dissolving, alright. Is this just what my streams devolve into? Getting into a society? Society is a superorganism. You know, the thing about society being an organism, I do think societies evolve much like any other organism does. And if you don't think organisms evolve, I know people who don't, that's fine too. I just mean, I think it follows a similar trend of variation. Variation and change over time. Yeah? I do think societies evolve like organisms in that sense of the theory. And yes, I will say theory. I'm not getting into any more of that. Let me get a drink, my scrot... Yeah, throat's scratchy. That's a spoonerism right there. You know what a spoonerism is? A spoonerism is when a phoneme gets swapped with another phoneme that comes later or before. So, like, spaghetti can be said as paschetti. That would be a spoonerism. So whenever you swap phonemes like that when you're talking, yeah, that's a spoonerism. Right, we were talking about superorganisms, right? Yeah, okay. I do think that societies evolve, right? And I think the organisms in a society evolve with the society's evolution. And I think that explains some of the unique traits that human societies have in general. Like altruism. If you think about altruism from a purely naturalistic perspective, it's not exactly a fit trait, is it? Not for the individual. No. For the individual, giving food to someone else might mean you die, and that means you do not reproduce and spread your genes, which means you're kind of a failure as an individual organism. From a natural perspective, I am not saying you have to have children to be successful. Again, this is just purely naturalism. Humanity is not necessarily... We're confined to natural laws, but we do not have to be confined to Mother Nature's game of evolution, okay? You do not have to reproduce if you do not want to reproduce. Plenty of people are happy not doing it. And yeah, that's how I feel about that. But I do think... my foot's asleep again. I do think, societies evolve weird traits, right? From a naturalistic perspective, it's probably more beneficial for an individual in an altruistic society to be a psychopath, right? Like, there's that weird kind of interplay, right? Where, because everybody else is playing nicely by the rules, if you do not play by the rules, you can get the advantage. You know what I mean? You can make it so you get more than everybody else, and no one will be the wiser, right? And I really think some degree of psychopathy is beneficial to a society, as weird as it is, because it keeps everybody from being too nice that they don't take enough for themselves. It always keeps people a little more honest. But at some point, those psychopaths are going to hoard resources. They're going to get more food, they're going to store it, they're going to reproduce at a faster rate, because they're not bound by the morals or ethics or values of anyone with a conscience. So they can have a bunch of children out of wedlock with any number of women they want, and it wouldn't make a difference. They got their genes out there, so psychopathy would spread. Whereas if you're not a psychopath, you might have a more committed relationship and only have a couple children. One maybe, or maybe none, I don't know. It doesn't make a difference there. The point is, psychopathy as a trait will be spread more often in an altruistic society, if it's allowed to, right? Than not psychopathy, I guess. Simply because the psychopaths breed because they have more resources. So, psychopathy, actually a very fit adaptation. Hate that it's true, but it is. Yeah, I thought about that a lot when I was growing up, right? Because again, my brother was a true blue psychopath. Now we got lucky again, but it didn't help us. Yep. That's enough waffling there. But there are also interesting traits for, I don't know, the opposite of that in societies as they evolve. Like the evolution of... Oh, very nice. The evolution of, altruism, for example, would be the opposite. In a society where everyone is psychopathic and not sharing anything, the best possible way to spread your genes might be to share resources, right? Because that means you're sharing with someone, but at the same time they might share with you, so there's a reciprocity there. This is the blessed run? I hope so. Am I talking too much about, the evolution of societies here? Like, I really don't want to bore anyone with these talks if they're not interesting to you. I could talk a lot about the evolution and fall of societies. Like, I tried in an earlier stream, right? I definitely tried to talk about, Spengler. Oswald Spengler. And this fall of societies, how they have, these life cycles, as it were. But I just kept getting tangented, and I don't know if anyone is actually interested in it. Did I talk about, reincarnating as a vending machine, that anime? Because that was really the hook for that story. I enjoy listening. Well, I enjoy that you enjoy it. Thank you. It's much appreciated. I just don't want to bore you with, theoretical, highbrow garbage. Like, it's all from an armchair, right? It's not like I'm out there in society doing cultural studies, ethnographic studies myself, right? I'm just here talking from a cold concrete floor. Yeah, with crickets. Crickets are my audience. I am lecturing to a bunch of crickets and, a couple people who may or may not be there in my chat. Yeah, I don't know if you're real or not. Like, Konkuro says he's real, and I believe him. Because he's the only one who said he was real. The rest of you, I don't know. You might not be. It's always hard to tell, right? You can't prove it. You know, I just now realized we've been streaming for about an hour. I'm not going to end things just yet. But this all started as one giant tangent, right? I wanted to talk about one specific topic, right? At the start of my day. How do I start my day? And, somehow we got on to the downfall of societies with Oswald Spengler. I don't know. You people enjoy that kind of thing? Like, me never telling the story that I intend to tell? I think that's a very old man trait, isn't it? Like, you ever have a grandfather who would just tell you a story and it just meanders and never gets to where you think it would go? I think that can be charming sometimes. I want to harness that old man energy, you know? I think it's cute. I think it's endearing. If I can pull that off a bit more, I would be a very happy man, yes? I would be happy with my content. And I think that's the most important thing, right? To be happy with your own content. We gotta be real careful here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. This run might be it. Now, I just jinxed it, but this run might be it. I was talking about old man energy, right? I really like... Look, not the creepy old man energy, although that's pretty fun too. I think Jekyll could probably pull that off. But I really like the idea of having... Oh, very nice. Of having, that meandering kind of... Oh, very nice. Not finishing a story charm. Because that's really the only thing I can do about it. I'm not going to be able to change what I am, right? Pretty fun. I knew it. Well, it was pretty fun. Being a meandering old man. You really don't get to change what you are too much in life. Like, I'm set in my ways. I'm an old man. I'm not changing it anytime soon. Not happening, I'm sorry. I am who I am. So, yeah. We're stuck on this side. Which is less than ideal, if I'm being honest. And I don't know if we have anything on the other side either. Oh, okay. Being a creepy old man is pretty fun. I don't mean to be a creepy old man all the time. Like, sometimes it's just fun to throw a character out there, right? Like, yeah, okay. I just had to make sure that I had my mustache and hat off. But sometimes it's fun to throw on a little voice, be a different character, you know? Be something different for people. You don't always have to do the same thing. Like, I don't know why you keep coming back for Minesweeper Zatsu streams. I'm pretty sure for like 90% of you, and there probably aren't too many of you out there, but for 90% of you who are actually listening, you're just here for a sleep aid, right? And I don't blame you. Like, that's what I want my content to be in the first place. That's always what I wanted my content to be. A sleep aid. I used to watch, Northern Lion a lot. With his Binding of Isaac. Like, he put out so many episodes of Binding of Isaac. Every single iteration of the Binding of Isaac, in fact. And he would just talk on and on and on, right? I was so amazed by it. I don't have the pop culture references he does. I stopped watching movies and television probably a decade ago. At least the new stuff. I recently watched Columbo to completion, and I watched The Mentalist to completion. Those were my two most recent TV show... kind of sleep aids. I'd pass out to them. I mean, that's not sleeping. It's just passing out. And if you don't know the difference between sleeping and passing out, well, bless you. You are so blessed, you know? If you think... No, that's backwards. If you do know the difference, bless you, because you know the difference. When you fall asleep, if it's not from exhaustion, that is not passing out. That is falling asleep. If it's from exhaustion, that is passing out. And as fun as it is to never have to worry about falling asleep because of exhaustion causing you to pass out, it's not ideal for the body, is it? I don't think it is. We're gonna have to take a gamble here, and I'm really not happy that we are, because this was a good run. We got lucky. It did not help us. We're gonna have to take another gamble here, and, like, there are probably a lot of bombs here. It's probably not ideal. Yeah, okay. That was a good try. I think we're gonna try a little bit more. Yeah, a little bit more. Like, I didn't even get to do anything on my list. Again, this is the second time in a row. And I do worry that it's gonna get boring for a lot of you pretty quickly. If I just keep doing the same thing, the Minesweeper Zatsu streams. But I really find these comfortable, you know? Like, it's not a lot of variety. But if you just want to hear me talk, and fall asleep to me. This is like one of the least stressful ways for me to give you content. I don't have to edit anything. I don't have to worry about gameplay. Like if I die, I die. I meant to right-click that. I don't have to worry about being good at a game, because you'll just mock me a little if I'm bad at Minesweeper, right? That's about all I have to worry about. A little bit of laughter at my expense is fine. I don't mind that. I don't mind being the butt of my own jokes either. I think most of you realize that by now. I use a lot of self-deprecating humor, but I don't have low self-esteem, so that's fine. Don't worry about Hyde and his low self-esteem, because it's not low. No, no. If he doesn't have anything, it's a sense of self, really. Well-timed bomb, the sentence you were saying? Yeah, it was well-timed. I'll admit it. It got me good, right? It got me good. Some games kinda have that sensor, like gacha games are said to have a greed sensor, right? I think Minesweeper has a Zatsu sensor, so when you're really getting into the Zatsu content, it knows. It knows you're in a flow state, you're not thinking, and all it takes is one misclick, and then the whole game's over. I was saying something important, I think. Can't remember what it was, so let's forget about it, yeah? I'm gonna tell you, when I wake up in the morning, you know, one of the first things I do is, because I'm an old man, and because I've been getting sick lately, is I take a daily multivitamin, and because I'm young at heart, or, you know, I just oscillate between being very old and being very childish, I don't like taking the big pills that you have to swallow. I really do not like pills that you have to swallow. So, what I end up doing is getting these gummy multivitamins, and regarding your question about this type of content, can't imagine ever getting bored of it. Really? I'm back? Welcome back, Senmath. If you don't think you'd get bored of this content, I really don't know what to say to that, because I would get bored of this content after a while. Wouldn't I? Then again, I did watch like 2,000 episodes of Binding of Isaac. Yeah, okay, maybe. Maybe I could see it. But the Binding of Isaac has at least variation in every run. It's a roguelike, right? Or is it a roguelite? No, it's a roguelike. Like with a K. Yeah, I still have a bit of trouble with my K consonants too. So sometimes they sound like T's. You know, I studied phonemes in college, so I can tell you they're pretty similar in some placement of the tongue. But yeah, I don't know. I think this... I don't want to say it, No. I think this kind of content, yes, saved, blessed. I think this kind of content is, of questionable interest to most people. It'll appeal to some, right? But to most people, I don't think it will. If you don't like my voice, for example, you're definitely not going to like the content of this, right? This content relies on my voice. And my voice right now is rather croaky and sick. So that's less than ideal too, you know? I will say, I agree that my voice can have a certain cadence to it. It has a unique quality because of that cadence, right? So the way I pronounce words, or the way I enunciate them, and kind of the lyrical, monotonous... Yeah, it's pretty much tone deaf. It's monotonous, but it does have a rhythm to it, I think. The way I enunciate and stress syllables are... Yeah, the way it is kind of rhythmic. I think that would be okay for sleeping. I haven't fallen asleep to my own voice, but I wouldn't put it past anyone to actually do it. And I think that's fine if you want to do it. In fact, I encourage it. Please do. It's not just your voice. I think your ramblings are enjoyable. Not always the most casual topics that you typically hear about. It's a unique experience. Yeah, I guess most people probably wouldn't discuss thanatology on their YouTube channel with a brightly colored anime face. Like, yeah, maybe not. But at the same time, those are the topics that are important to me, or at least important enough to me to actually want to talk about them in any detail, you know? Yeah. Ah, my voice is getting scratchy. I'm gonna push through for a little longer. But I'm almost out of water, too. Like, it's amazing. I don't know how many fluid ounces this is. 22 fluid ounces. That would be 650 milliliters of water. And I'm only an hour and 15 minutes into the stream. I want to point out that last week I had 125 milliliters of juice in a juice box, and it lasted over 15 minutes longer. I don't know if that's just because I'm sick, or if I'm drinking too much water. I don't know if you can drink too much water. You probably can. You can probably drown, right? If you drink too much water without... Well, this gets us onto our topic that I wanted to talk about. Okay, it gets us away from the original topic that I wanted to talk about, which was multivitamins. Because again, I do want to harness the old man energy. But sure, let's talk about drowning because you're not, you know, excreting your own waste materials. If the previous was using a straw, that could explain the rate, right? You think that drinking through a straw is slower than drinking from a water bottle? Like, I'm drinking from a water bottle that has, a pour spout. You know, it has one of these flip tops. So it kinda has a straw. Yeah, I guess you turn yourself into a duck, you turn your mouth up, you just guzzle, you know? That's a bad image. Don't imagine that image for me, please. Please don't. Yeah, okay. Hyde's getting kinda tired, you know? It's probably gonna be soon time to turn this down a little. Maybe. Oh, why'd you do this to me? Do you see how good this was until this? Yeah, we're probably going to be ending, I don't know. I'm gonna push for another 15 to 30 minutes. I don't know when we're gonna end, but it's gonna be a little longer yet. It's good content, not a content you see in your VTuber community a lot. Playing Sweeper and talking about death, water, and vitamins. Last run? I don't know. I'm gonna push for about 15 to 30 more minutes. That's what we're gonna do. If my voice starts giving out on me, if I start getting tired more than I am, we're gonna call it. Because I really should take my own advice and get the rest I need, right? Can you almost made the chips I was chewing go to my nose? Sen, okay, Sen. Yeah, okay. Please do not chew chips with your nose. You have a mouth for that. Food goes in your mouth, not your... Well, you know, the mouth and the nose are connected through the throat, right? Please do not think of anything weird because of that. 3 to 4 liters of water per hour will give you water intoxication. Thank you, Iria. Thank you for getting us back on topic. The LD50 is 6 liters. Ah, really? That's lethal dose? I could see that, yeah. Like, 6 liters per hour? That's a lot of water. So yeah. Let's talk about this because it is on the list. Like, you know how you're a human and you have to expel waste from your bodily orifices? That's a word, right? Orifices? Yeah. You know how you're humans and you have to do that? I don't, because I'm not a human, right? I'm just a talking head on a television screen or a computer screen. Maybe a phone screen if you're lying in bed. I don't know. I don't judge. But I don't do that as a not human. Yeah? But you know how you do, and I hope you do this. You know how you wash your hands after that? We probably do it. We exist. I don't know. Again, Konkuro might be the only one who exists. It's hard to tell. You might do it if you exist. But you know how you wash your hands after that, right? What do you do after you wash your hands? Like, do you dry it on something? Like your hands? When I was growing up, we would always have like this rag hanging up on the wall. Like a little hand towel, right? And the reason I'm asking about this is because the other day, I went somewhere and there was not a little hand towel hanging up, right? And it wasn't like a public place, it was in someone's house. And there wasn't a towel hanging up after you wash your hands. What do you do with that? Do you rub your hands on your pants? Is that the cleanest way to do it? I don't know. Like, that was the option I had, right? Either don't dry your hands or rub them on your pants. Isn't that really strange? Like, am I alone here in thinking that it's weird not to have a towel hanging up in your bathroom for your hands after you wash them? Like, I get it if you think it's gonna be gross or dirty after a while. But, it's better than drying your hands on your pants, I think. I think, slightly. Maybe I'm wrong. Like, maybe when you flush the toilet, it's a little strange to not have a towel. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Thank you for saying it's strange. I was worried there that I was the strange one. Like, I honestly don't know what they did, like, in their house. Do you not wash your hands? Is that... I don't want to be there if you're not washing your hands. It's okay, I guess. But it's not okay. It feels a bit weird not to have a towel hanging up in your bathroom. So that gets us onto another topic. Like, how often do you wash a hand towel in your bathroom? Specifically one for drying your hands after you wash them. After using the bathroom. I think Hyde is too powerful. Are you a member from the O5 Council from SCP? I really not, no. Not very good either. I do have some strange ideas for some experiments, though. Not getting into that this stream. I do like SCP, though. I really don't think I'm that powerful. Let's get back to hand towels, yeah? I really want to talk about hand towels. How often would you wash a hand towel in the bathroom used for drying your hands? Air drying can be more hygienic than reusing a used towel. That's exactly right. I think so too. But then your hands are wet for a while. Especially in humid environments. I'm pretty sure you live in a humid environment, don't you? Yeah, you probably do. You got lizards running around, it's gotta be humid. Every week at most. Yeah, right? Like, I don't think you could do it any less than every week. Like, weekly washing your hand towels. Like, I get it, right? You just wash your hands, and you got them soapy, and you used warm water, and you sang the alphabet song for 30 seconds like you're supposed to, right? We all do that. Except for me, because I'm not human. I don't need to do that. But if I were human, that's exactly what I would do when I'm washing your hands, you know? So your hands, theoretically, ought to be clean by the time you put them up to that hand towel. So the only issue with the hand towel would be any particulates in the air caused by, let's say flushing and aerosolizing things, yes? Is that fair to assume? I think that's fair to assume. That would be the only issue for your hand towels. Air drying can even apply to showers, maybe all the time. I really don't like being naked that long, if I'm being honest. I hate being naked, right? I really just hate being naked. I like to dry myself off as quickly as possible and get dressed as quickly as possible. So air drying my body, that's a no-go. Absolutely no. Couldn't do it. I probably should have admitted that, but what are you gonna do with that information? Nothing? You gonna dox me because I don't wear clothes, or because I wear clothes all the time? No. Everybody wears clothes. No one talks about their shower habits. You're not gonna be able to dox me from that. This is tough. Lucky. We got very lucky. Hopefully we can figure out how many bombs are here when we get the rest of this done. Oh, we can't get the rest of this done. We already hit the wall. Fantastic. No one talks about shower habits. In fact, I'm pretty sure I'm the weird one for talking about shower habits. We were talking about hand rags for after you're done washing your hands in the bathroom. We weren't talking about shower habits. It's not about the docks, it's about having more ammo to make fun of you about. Look, I'm very comfortable in my skin, in the sense that I'm not very comfortable being only in my skin. Yeah? I don't mind admitting that I don't like being nude. Like, you'll never find me as a model for a painting or a sculpture. I just don't like being nude. I'm sorry. Some people are like that. We're gonna try this one more time. And we got lucky one more time. No, we were talking about hand rags, right? Like, things you dry your hands on after you use the bathroom and wash them. Hopefully, after you wash them. I don't really know how we got to the topic of, air drying your body. Oh yeah, I do. It's still in the chat. Fantastic. That's not on me, people. That's on chat. Yeah? Okay. So we said about once a week seems ideal. But I really don't think that's true. Like, I think it would depend on how often you use the bathroom, and if you close the toilet lid or not, how often you need to wash your hand rags, right? So, if you use the bathroom, and you excrete wastes, solid wastes, there's that S again. Trying to fix that, really am. If you excrete solid wastes, then you flush it without the lid, you're aerosolizing a lot of particulate matter, and I think that would get on your hand towel, right? So I would recommend washing it every time that you would do something like that, because when you're drying your hands after you clean them with that rag that has the aerosolized waste matter on it, you could call that, let's not use any worse terms than waste matter. But yeah, when you get that on your, your hand rag that's for drying off your hands, I think it's really just gonna grow bacteria on your hands if you try to dry yourself off with that again. So wash it every time you don't close the lid. Ideally, I don't think you should have it for any longer than a day or two. Yeah. But that would be doing a lot of laundry, right? This is part 2 of the frozen poop thesis. No, there are no poop knives on my channel. We do not have poop knife on my channel. No. Or have enough towels to use once before washing. They have sets of those called reusable tissue or something. Again, I want to be very clear. These towels... I'm not reading that comment. These towels are for drying your hands. They're not for anything else, okay? They're not for any other purpose in the bathroom. They're just for drying your hands. Nothing else. So, you really got me off my train of thought for that, yeah, I'm not saying that word. I think 3 days is the maximum that you should really let it go. Anything more than 3 days, I think you're gonna grow fecal coliform bacteria, and maybe other things. Especially if you're drying your hands a lot, right? I hope you're washing your hands every time you use the bathroom, but I understand if you're a man, and you don't necessarily do that. Yeah? Because you can just not touch anything, and it's fine, right? Sorry. I'm sorry. You know what I mean, not necessarily a man, but if you don't touch anything, yeah? You understand what I mean? You can just get away with not touching anything, then your hands are theoretically mostly clean. And I guess I could understand if you want to be lazy about it. I wouldn't. I would still wash my hands because you're still entering a bathroom, right? And you just never know. You never know what's growing in your bathroom. I know the bathroom is probably one of the cleanest rooms in the house. I hope yours is. If you're not cleaning your bathroom regularly, we're gonna have problems, you know, I'm gonna judge you a little bit. If you're cleaning everything but your bathroom, I'm gonna think you're pretty weird. I'm gonna be honest there. I think that's pretty weird if you're just cleaning everything but the bathroom. I guess there's some kind of logic to it. Like, the bathroom's just gonna get dirty anyway, so you might as well just leave it as dirty as possible. Hope your immune system takes care of the rest. No, that's disgusting. I don't like that thought at all. I guess you were assuming anyone who uses a towel has washed their hands properly also. Yes, that was part of the premise, yes. Anyone who is using the towel has washed their hands properly. Hot water and soap, 30 seconds, singing the alphabet song. We've been over this. You weren't paying attention, right? You got lulled to sleep by the weird rhythm of my voice. And you just didn't hear that part, I guess. That's fine. You don't have to listen to my voice. You can just... You know, weird things about words are, they're just vocalizations, right? They're just frequencies that you hear from the oscillation of your ear bones in your ear. Or whatever is in your ear. You have ear bones, right? I don't know. I think humans have ear bones. They have eardrums. I'm pretty sure they have ear bones. I'm not looking into that. Let's assume that humans have ear bones, and the ear bones cause oscillations that your brain interprets as sounds. Yeah? Yeah. Called out? Yeah, you got called out for having ear bones. I don't know what I called you out for. Hyde's kinda losing it. Like, he's pushing. He's really pushing. Gonna give you some more content. Maybe I just have a goldfish memory? Maybe you, the chatter, just have a goldfish memory. Yes. I gotta be perfectly clear there, because anyone who's just listening without reading chat would think that I have a goldfish memory. And it's true that I do, but I did not say it this time. I'm back. Did you win? Hi, Lila. No, I did not. In fact, I've been waffling a lot. As you can see, I have no easy options left, and it's less than ideal. I'm gonna say that this is not a bomb. Yes, because I figured that this was. And now we have some room to play. See, if you waffle long enough, sometimes your problems solve themselves. Isn't that ideal? I think that's ideal, you know? You don't have to take care of anything yourself. It'll just do it for you. Yeah, Hyde likes that. Hyde likes that a lot. This is the run. Let's believe. You jinxed me. You people just jinxed me. Because believing jinxes this run. Yeah, thank you. Thank you both. Thank you, Sen. Thank you, Rura. It's having such a good run. Now if I lose, I'm blaming you two. That's a great thing about having a chat, right? I can blame you instead of Jekyll. Or, Clown Hyde. You probably haven't seen Clown Hyde in a while. You're not going to. Clown Hyde is gone for now. In fact, I don't think this model has Clown Hyde on him, because I opened the wrong one. Yeah. Isn't that fun? This little model does not have Clown Hyde. Only Jekyll, and, he doesn't even have his eyes on this one, I think. Yeah, so the sweeper is now an SCP. It's a cognito hazard, I think that's fair to say. I don't know if it's an SCP proper, but it's definitely a cognito hazard, as is most of my content. Clown Hyde finally got arrested for his crimes. I don't know what crimes Clown Hyde would have gotten arrested for. Like, I don't think Clown Hyde seems like the most reasonable one of the bunch, doesn't he? I think Clown Hyde would probably be the least likely to commit a crime. Probably the most vocal about, I don't know, injustice. So maybe he jaywalked and the cop didn't like it because he fought the charge. I don't know. I could see that happening. Good run. Please do not jinx me, man. Please do not jinx me. Yeah, Hyde is not looking good here. My cognitive abilities are on the decline. Probably because of the lack of nicotine, right? Yeah. That's usually why I stream so little, you know? I really can't think right without nicotine in my system. I can't think at all, if I'm being honest. It feels like there's lead behind my eyes. And, I didn't really get to smoke before I set this stuff up either. This stream was very rushed. I didn't know if I would be streaming today. I wasn't kinda feeling like it. Like, I woke up feeling great. I thought, yeah, let's stream. But then as the day went on, you know, the schedule got kinda messed up. It was just a hassle. So I didn't know. And I didn't have juice box either. Again, I don't have juice boxes, that's not ideal. I can't stream without juice boxes, it's not good. The mines fear the Hyde man. You know, it's interesting, right? Like, my account name is Hyde Man, and Hyde Man is not Hyde. So am I actually the Edward Hyde? Or am I just someone pretending to be Hyde, who is actually named Heidemann? Maybe it's German. It's Heidemann. Yeah? Maybe. I don't know. I like to think that I'm the actual Edward Hyde, and the way I get around explaining how I am so young still, even though I'm old. I'm still old. The way I get around explaining that is that I'm actually the inspiration for the picture of Dorian Gray, minus the weird hobbies and the questionable relationships. Those were kind of Oscar Wilde's things, you know? And I don't fault him for it. Those were his interests. And he did make it a separate character for me, right? But yeah, Hyde is basically an unaging eldritch abomination. Yeah, that's the way I see it. And so too is Jekyll. Because they are one and the same. Clown Hyde, on the other hand, might just be a normal guy, I don't know. He could just have snuck in here someday and started recording. I don't know. I don't have any lore for Clown Hyde. I also like waffles. I like waffles too. Well, you have a toxic relationship with the bombs. Yes, okay. Sorry. That little heart, you know, I like the hearts, but I can't see underneath it. And it really gets to me. Heart. Oh, I can't actually send hearts. Well, I just closed the dockable window, so let's get that dock back up, yeah? Yeah, okay, chat's back up. Clown Hyde is an enigma beyond that which can be known. Very true. Thank you for the hearts, which I am now seeing because I reopened my dock. Yeah, no, I really don't have any lore for Clown Hyde. I can tell you the actual lore for Clown Hyde. I thought it would be hilarious if I put some clown makeup on my face and tried to be a serious VTuber. Or PNGtuber. The definition for PNGtuber and VTuber is so confused in the mass media, the zeitgeist around it. You know about the zeitgeist around VTubing, right? All thousands of them. Of the people, the fans. They get into hot debates about this every night. You're not a VTuber if you have a PNG. I don't know. I don't care. We're all pixels on a screen, aren't we? I think we're all pixels on a screen. I don't know what I am. Some kind of eldritch abomination. Clown Hyde and the... Did Clown Hyde mention it? Oh, Clown Hyde did mention the jar. Clown Hyde did. You're right. You're right. How could I not, though? If you put Pegasi in a game... Okay, if you don't get this reference, it's from a video of mine with Clown Hyde called Interdimensional Clown Train. And it's a text-based adventure game, right? And in it, you're traveling from one dimension to other dimensions to try and get to a friend's birthday party. And it's a train about clowns, right? Yeah, it's a clown train. So I had Clown Hyde on, of course. That seemed appropriate. And there was one dimension where there were Pegasi flying around. And if you know anything about the internet and Pegasi, then you know about jars. How could I not make that reference, you know? It's not my fault, okay? it was the developer's fault for assuming that I would not make that reference about a jar. Yeah? Yeah. I think that's true. What were we talking about before that? Waffles? You know, I do like waffles, but if we were talking about... Haha, we're finally back to the topic I wanted to start on. My mornings. Hyde does not like eating in the morning. Why does Hyde not like eating in the morning? I feel sick when I eat in the morning, right? Yes, you are eating lots of waffles. There was a period of several years where I would just eat waffles for breakfast every day. Like frozen Eggo waffles every day for years. Yeah, that's true. Because I thought waffles were the most perfect breakfast food. And they really were. And no, they were not blueberry ones or chocolate chip, they were all plain. They were plain Eggo waffles with cheap imitation maple syrup. Because I kind of like real maple syrup, but I really don't. Like, I'd rather have maple candy made from maple syrup than I would have maple syrup on my actual waffles or pancakes. I prefer the cheap imitation stuff like Mrs. Buttersworth. Yeah, that's my jam when we're eating waffles. Especially frozen Eggo waffles, right? Well, nothing but the finest foods for Hyde, right? Yes, you're eating lots of waffles. I don't know why, but I don't eat in the morning, never. Oh, I get so sick when I eat in the morning, right? My stomach just gets upset if... But here's the thing, being old, if you don't eat in the morning, your stomach also gets upset. Like, that was my whole point behind the multivitamin story. Yeah, I got gummy multivitamins, but if I eat them on an empty stomach, I immediately feel... I feel ill. Like, I get nauseous. It is physiological. I need to sit down. I can't move for like 5 minutes until I eat something. And it's just not ideal. Hold on a second. Let me get a drink. I want to know how that tastes like because of 11. I don't know what 11 means. Based waffle enjoyer. I always used to do cream cheese on mine. Cream cheese is expensive in some places. Luckily, I'm not in a place where it is. I don't really like it on, breakfast foods, no. I don't like bagels, though, either. Like, a lot of people will give me hate because I don't like bagels. I just don't think they're ideal. If I'm gonna have cream cheese, I want cream cheese frosting on a cake, you know? That's what I want. Not cream cheese on a bagel spread. I will say that my favorite breakfast food is probably muffins, though. Because they're so portable, you know? You don't have to worry about getting maple syrup on you. Or imitation corn syrup flavored like maple. Yeah, you can just eat a muffin. And usually they come in their own little handy wrappers. And you can pick at them, and you can eat them. And that's that. We're gonna take a gamble. And if we die, that's gonna be it. We were so lucky there. And, Yep, we're getting there. Hyde is really losing steam here, you know? 11 is a character from Stranger Things obsessed with Eggo. Oh, okay. If you've never had an Eggo waffle, imagine the worst waffle in your life. And that's an Eggo waffle. Yeah. They taste like cardboard. And really all they are is a vehicle to move maple syrup from one direction into your mouth. They're like a maple syrup boat. That's all they are. Cardboard too, yeah. Oh, cream cheese frosting is great too. Yeah, I really like cream cheese frosting on cakes. And crumpets. And crimpets. And I like it in coffee cakes and danishes. Yeah. Like, I have a big sweet tooth, right? I'm not hiding that. I really do have a big sweet tooth. I'm a big child sometimes, you know? But I kind of need the calories, if I'm being honest. I probably need more calories in my diet. I just can't force myself to eat. I feel really ill. The waffles... Oh, I believe? You believe? Oh, you shouldn't have believed. The waffles are over. We're doing this now. You ever eat the muffin wrapper to get the flavor out when the pieces are stuck in? You mean like chew on it, right? You don't mean actually eating the muffin wrapper, right? Uh-huh. I don't know, Dojinpachi. I don't know about eating. I definitely have licked the muffin wrapper. Like, I've used my teeth to scrape at it like an animal would scrape at a bone with meat on it. I've done that. But I've never actually put a wrapper in my mouth and chewed on it. That seems a bit excessive. I'm not gonna judge you if you do. 11 is attached to those waffles by trauma, though. It was the first thing she was given to eat after escaping, if I remember well. I haven't watched Stranger Things, so I'll take your word for it. But, yeah, they're not great. I can understand if it were a trauma thing. They do kind of have a nostalgia for me, if I'm being honest with you. Some foods are just garbage and you know it, but you like eating them because they remind you of times where things were not so garbage and you know it. Yeah, that's how I feel about waffles and Pop-Tarts especially. They're just kinda comfort junk food. Quick calories too, which is always nice, because again, I don't like eating, so if I need to get calories into my diet somewhere, usually it'll be sweets. Yeah, they're so calorie dense with all of their fats and sugar content, all the carbohydrates. They're really the ideal food if you don't like eating, yeah. And then you just get everything else with multivitamins, right? Multivitamins, protein powder, you know, the works. Yeah, like gum and maybe swallowing a few pieces. Dojinpachi, I think you have some problems that we need to work on. Like, please do not eat paper. It's fine if you do. I won't judge. But maybe other people will. But don't do it in public, yeah? It's thin enough so there's usually not a problem. Do you actually swallow it? Like, I've chewed on paper and swallowed it before. But it was never, you know, a muffin wrapper. Like, some of those are made of aluminum foil, or they have foil liners. I do a lot of baking, so I do have a lot of different muffin wrappers, like little muffin tins. Well, I do have muffin tins too, but I mean like the muffin wrappers with the aluminum foil on the outside and the paper ones on the inside with the liner. I wouldn't chew on one of those, no. Wait, people actually chew on it? Not really, no. I mean, Dojin seems to. I scrape at it with my teeth, though. You eat so many stuff I don't even have here. Well, yeah, I'm an American. We eat garbage. Pop-Tarts are a huge nostalgia meal, yeah? Pop-Tarts are not a meal, man. Pop-Tarts are like a snack. I guess you can have them as a meal, but really they're just still there to, fill out your caloric intake for the day. I never ate a Pop-Tart in my life. Is it good? No. No, it's not good. Pop-Tarts are not good. Pop-Tart. Whoever owns you, Pop-Tart, I will change my tune in a heartbeat if you want to sponsor me. Like, I am not profiting from any of my content, but if you want to sponsor someone like me, by all means, send me a box of Pop-Tarts and I will review them. Yeah, that is my offer to you, whoever makes Pop-Tart. I tried to eat Pop-Tarts for breakfast, and I couldn't finish the pack. I was surprised at how filling it was. Yeah, it's a lot of sugar. Like, I don't know how many calories it is, but it's gotta be at least 400, 500, maybe 600 for a whole pack. And I do remember them having more frosting, like, I think the last time I bought a pack of Pop-Tarts, it was probably a year or two ago. And the frosting was kind of thin, and the filling was kind of... It wasn't to the edges like it used to be. And I don't think that's all nostalgia. I think there is a bit of shrinkflation going on. They used to be a lot more caloric and otherwise. Yeah, I have a lot of those. Teehee. Occasionally, but usually only muffin wrappers. Not the foil ones, just paper like coffee filters. Yeah, I have chewed on coffee filters before. There is a tactile sensation to chewing on coffee filters, you know? And I think it's really only from coffee filters and other thin papers, so I can understand that. It's kind of like that, fruit stripe gum, right? A lot of people have said that you could just chew the paper as well, if you wanted all the flavor. You remember the zebra stripe gum? I don't really know what it's called. It might be fruit stripes, it might be zebra stripes. But it's the really fruity one that has good flavor. I knew a lot of people who just throw the whole stick in, paper and all. And there is a unique sensation to doing that. I don't enjoy it, but I understand if you do. Yeah, yeah. Bracing for the Pop-Tart Marathon mukbang. Yeah, no, we're not doing, no, I'm not eating 100 Pop-Tarts. Favorite Pop-Tart flavor? S'mores, please. Yeah, like, totally. I do like s'mores. S'mores is best when it's used in a, toaster, though. If you're just having s'mores and it's cold, it's kinda disappointing. If you don't toast it, I wouldn't go s'mores. If you're not toasting it, I would go brown sugar cinnamon. Yeah. Brown sugar cinnamon is the very old man option. It still has frosting, so you don't really feel like it's not a Pop-Tart. But it's very old man flavored. Yeah. It's like if they had a butterscotch flavored Pop-Tart, yeah? Yeah, that's a real childhood deep cut. I don't know which was. Like, the s'mores Pop-Tart in a toaster? Yeah, that is definitely childhood right there. It just doesn't seem right to eat a s'mores Pop-Tart when it's cold, right? The other ones I used to like a lot were the chocolate fudge. Again, you've got to heat it up. Cold chocolate fudge Pop-Tarts are just garbage. And, blueberry. Everybody likes the blueberry or the strawberry, right? I don't think there's much of a difference in the taste between blueberry and strawberry. I don't think there's any berry in either of them. But those are the two classic flavors that you either like one or you like the other. And I really think it all comes down to whether you like the color bluish purple or the color pinkish red. Because the flavor is the same. I don't care what anyone says, they are the same flavor. Old man flavored makes it sound like it's made out of old men. Please do not turn me into a Pop-Tart. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say about that. The fruit stripe zebra thingy too? Oh yeah. Yeah, that is a deep cut. I actually have, a couple packs of that. Like, I went to a discount store, and the discount store gets a lot of nearly expired items, and I just bought an entire display pack of it, right? It's gum, it's not gonna go bad. Yeah, it probably has a couple months on it until it expires. But I got, like, the whole display pack for, like, $2, which is fantastic. I really recommend going to discount stores whenever you get the chance. It's where I usually get most of my wine material, too. So when I look for fruit, I either go to the orchards that actually grow the fruit, and I buy the seconds, the things they can't sell at market. Because they have bruises, or maybe they have a bug or two in them, I don't know. They're fine for making wine out of it. It's fine, you know? You can do that. You're just gonna drink it anyway. What's a little extra protein? What is a Pop-Tart? Google help. Pop-Tarts are toaster pastries. So they're kind of like cardboard with a jam filling and occasionally sugar frosting. Yeah. And you put those in a toaster and they get warm. And then they don't taste like garbage so much. Really, they're just cheap filling snacks, sugar things to feed children if you don't want to make breakfast, I guess. I think a lot of children grow up eating Pop-Tarts. They're just really easy, too. You know what's really weird? I knew a friend in college who would microwave his Pop-Tarts, and he would microwave them in the toaster or the little, like, aluminum packet they come in. I am not making this up. He would microwave them in the aluminum packet. In his microwave. I always thought that was insane. I don't know. It didn't spark or anything. I don't know, maybe it's viable. Maybe Pop-Tarts made non-sparking, non-magnetic metal. I don't know. It's definitely weird. I like the strawberry one too because pink. I'm not surprised. I like blue. You can like pink. Iria, do Americans actually eat them for breakfast, or is that just a TV movie thing? Americans actually do eat them for breakfast. When I was in high school, I would usually eat Pop-Tarts for breakfast. Pretty much every day for, I don't know, 2 years. And yes, I did get bored of eating the same thing every day for 2 years. I would switch up the Pop-Tart flavors, right? And we already discussed which ones I like, but American children definitely do eat them for breakfast. It was either that or I cooked myself eggs, right? Eggs are always, you know, filling, they're available, they're simple to cook. As a kid, I really didn't learn how to cook until I was, freshman, sophomore, probably sophomore year of high school. But I didn't always cook anyway, you know? So I wasn't always making myself breakfast. How many bugs are in your wine? Oh, they're all ground up and boiled, so it doesn't matter if there are any. Usually they get filtered out at the end, you know? They get left in the lees, and the lees are the little cloudy sediment at the bottom. And I kind of siphon off the clear liquid at the top, so there really shouldn't be that many bugs. Rura, children eat that constantly? Yeah, children do. I saw pictures. Good, good, I hope you did see pictures. Yes, it is pretty much just cardboard with jam filling. I see, Here we do a lot of good wine, but sadly I don't drink wine. Good wine. Hyde never really liked good wine, if he's being honest with you. Like, I've had good wine, I've had bad wine, I've had, I've had cheap wine, and if I'm going to buy a wine commercially, I like to get Lambruscos. I really like the drier Lambruscos, but usually if you get something like a Riuniti Lambrusco, you get a gallon of wine for like $7. And it's sweet, it's carbonated, it's red, it's acidic. It's not the ideal Lambrusco, but a gallon of wine for $7, I'll take it. Yeah, that's your Italian table wine. Great stuff. Not a big fan of oaky wines. I don't like things that have been stored in wood. I like fresher, fruitier flavors. Yeah. It looks like a huge cookie. It essentially is. It's kind of like a shortbread. If you have a shortbread cookie and you put jam in the middle. But a little bit softer. Yeah. Is your friend an arsonist? Actually, he was. I really don't want to dox myself by saying too much more. But I think he was an arsonist. He was also involved in other things. But that's fine, right? That's fine. Insanity. They eat that every day. What are we eating every day? Is it Pop-Tarts? I ate Pop-Tarts every day. Were there sparks? No, there were no sparks. I'm really behind on chat here, aren't I? Oh. Eggs? Do you guys never eat bread with butter, cheese, ham, and milk? Most days now, I'll force myself to eat toast, right? And when I say toast, is this weird? He actually was. He actually was. Yes, he was. He was a weird guy. Not a bad guy, just very weird. I'll tell you one more story that's kind of weird about me. I have a sourdough culture that I feed pretty much every day. And I have for about 5 years now. Yeah, it's been a while since I started that one. And it's very rare for me to ever put it in the fridge. So I have to feed it every single day. And I don't like discarding it, right? So I used to make a lot of sourdough pancakes. What's your child's name? He's in kindergarten, right? He's adorable. Most people call them scobies. Symbiotic communities of bacteria and yeast. I don't like that. I don't like naming them. You can call it George if you want, I don't care. Pet sourdough, yeah. Yeah, my yeast are my children. My wine yeast and my sourdough. But I don't like discarding the sourdough. It seems wasteful if I'm feeding it every day. So what I like to do is I like to, at the end of the day, I will pour out the sourdough discard onto some kind of surface that is non-stick, and I will bake that like a loaf of bread. It's a lot like a flatbread, but it really isn't a flatbread because it doesn't have nearly as much gluten development. So it's good for people who are gluten intolerant, I guess. Most sourdough is better for gluten intolerant people, simply because the sourdough, the acids in the sourdough, will break down gluten. So that's good. I don't think I am gluten intolerant, but if I were, that's good. And I bake that off after giving it liberal amounts of salt. It's kind of like focaccia at that point. Very airy. And it's not bad. And that's what I usually have for breakfast these days. Like, I'll put that in a toaster, and I'll just crunch on that. Yeah, that usually settles my stomach enough that I can take my multivitamin. Yeah, without having any kind of nausea. Let's continue with this game. It's been 2 hours. I am feeling it. I hope you, have enjoyed it so far. We're gonna take a gamble, right? We're gonna gamble that this little square here is not a bomb. And it was. Okay. We didn't really get to, we again didn't get to my list. I'll remove thanatology from it. I'll remove, dish rags, or bathroom rags, I guess. But that's it. Oh no? Look, Hyde really cannot go for much longer than 2 hours. It is just not in me, you know? I have to smoke, I have to do things. I just can't. It's ridiculous that I actually put in the effort to put 2 hours in without saying anything on my list except for, I don't know, hand rags in a bathroom. And you can hear my voice going. Like, I am always impressed. I go into streams all the time, right? You might not always see me, but I'm usually lurking at least one stream when I'm working during the day. So, if you see me, I'm always impressed by what you're doing when you're streaming for more than 2 hours, when you're streaming 2 hours multiple days a week. I couldn't do it. I really can't do that. I don't have it in me. I couldn't be interesting for more than 1 day a week, right? I just can't. So I'm always impressed when I see a streamer out there going 4, 5 hours a day. I can't do it. So we're gonna call it here. Oh, that was a bomb. Okay. And you're sick too. You have your life, it's okay. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna call it here. Thank you all for joining me. Hyde loves you all. Hyde, out.